The thing about Portmarnock, it's a great community. It's a great place. There's so much volunteerism and community effort, and it's just great to be playing here in front of you.
G'day gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, little ladies and little gentlemen. There's quite a few here today. One feeding the bottle, lovely. Sheila, Bruce, down the back, lovely to see you again. I remember you from last year. Well, you're all very welcome to the beautiful surroundings of the Portmarnock Hotel and Golf Links to celebrate my very own epic flight, which took off from this very beach, the Velvet Strand, 89 years ago next week. Can you believe it? And I feel like I haven't aged a day. You'll all agree, yes? Oh, you're too kind, too kind. Well, today we celebrate the 8th annual Southern Cross Day, stepping back in time to remember all the glitz and glam, frills and jazz hands, and of course my very own epic flight from Portmarnock all the way to America, Newfoundland and Canada on the 24th of June 1930. Well, I am absolutely delighted and thrilled again to be here today to relive all the exciting times of the Portmarnock, that Portmarnock played in such a huge aviation history. And seeing all the wonderful costumes of my era, you're all looking absolutely splendid, I'm sure. With a few prizes later on, I hope. That right, Elvis? Yes? Lovely. Seeing all the wonderful costumes, it truly brings me back. I am very excited to be introducing all the wonderful entertainment throughout the day that we will be enthralled to see, and perhaps share a few stories about my famous journey across the Atlantic Ocean, putting you right in the cockpit of the Southern Cross. Would you like that, fellas? Yay! Yes, you would. Lovely.
Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Sweet cookie, yes, sir, we've decided. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now. Yes, right now. By the way, by the way, by the way, by the way, when we reach the preacher, I'll say, yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Right now. By the way, by the way, by the way, by the way, when we reach the preacher, I'll say, put it up one tone higher. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, no, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't mean maybe. That's my baby. That's my baby now. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart, good night, sweetheart, 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 good night. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, myself in the evening breeze.
Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees.
Send me off wherever at last you please. Don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me straddle miles and underneath the western sky.
The western sky.
On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains.
See the mountain rise.
I want to rest and look at hovels, and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. Don't fence me in. I want to ride to Pardon me, boys,
At the Chattanooga choo-choo.
yeah, yeah.
After midnight.
I'm gonna give you a shine, shine, shine.
To board the Chattanooga
To
choo-choo.
board the Chattanooga choo-choo.
I got my fare.
I have got my fare, and just as trifle to spare. You leave the Pennsylvania station at 1:45. Gotta keep it rolling. Woo, there you are.
She's gonna cry.
She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'm never wrong. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga, 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 Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? All aboard. She wears satin lace, I used to call funny face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'm never wrong. So Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? Chattanooga, 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 Chattanooga choo-choo, won't you choo-choo me home? All aboard.
So tell me this now, a lot of people have been asking me, why Portmarnock Beach? Why not use a normal runway to take off? Anyone know? There wasn't one. Anyone else? There was one. Oh, you're a liar. There wasn't one, you're right. Well, there wasn't one long enough anyway, I can tell you. There was a few. Well, you say, isn't it obvious I said? Clearly you cannot play 18 holes of golf in the Dublin airport. Well, you can here, so I arrived here. But secondly, Dublin airport did not actually exist until 10 years later in 1940. So in 1930, obviously, I took off from here. 1940 was Dublin airport was built. So, you see, the Southern Cross plane, or the old bus as I call it, was a very, very, very heavy plane. She was a big old girl. You see, thousands of gallons of fuel weighed it down to get across the Atlantic Ocean. I needed every single drop of fuel to complete the 3,000-mile journey across the ocean. So to make sure the old bus actually lifted up into the air, I needed a very, very long stretch of runway, 3 mile long. Needed to be very, very smooth also, which would have been perfect to achieve the top speed I needed to lift the Southern Cross up into the blue sky above Dublin Bay. And then I even bought a new plane that year, but I was very disappointed they wouldn't let me keep that hangar. That's my second joke of this year. That's all you're getting now, folks. Thank you very much. See you next year.
Come shining through. If you just light up your face with gladness hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so dear. Smile, wash the years of crying. You'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. If you just smile. 5'2", eyes are blue. Oh, what those cats could do, has anybody seen my turned up nose, flapper, yes sir, one of those. Has anybody just made for two, with nothing to mar our joy. I would say such wonderful things to you. There would be such wonderful things to do if you were the only girl in the world and I was the only boy. Soon I'll find a pose, and in dreams you always need to be. I'll see you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms. Still I feel the thrill of your charms. Lips that once were mine, tender eyes that shine, they will light my way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams. All together, come on. I'll see you in my dreams.
Checks. Fuel tanks full. Sandwiches packed. Kids stowed in the boot. No, just kidding. Flask of coffee brewed. Cadbury's chocolate stowed. And a few sneaky bottles of Jameson whiskey. Our Irish navigator Paddy Saul insisted we don't leave home without it. Nothing like an in-flight tipple to keep you on your toes, you see. Now, down below on the Velvet Strand, the Gardaí and the army were there to help clear the beach of any rocks and debris and made sure the Velvet Strand was just that, like Dermot's jacket. Thousands of people camped overnight in the dunes to wave us farewell on takeoff, and even a member of the barbershop chorus, Brendan Redmond. Is Brendan here today by any chance? Yay, he wasn't here for the last 2 years. Go on, Brendan. He remembers his auntie talking about the morning of the flight when she and some friends cycled over from Clockworth in North County Dublin to witness this incredible event. And I remember waving her a fond farewell too on takeoff.
Absolutely nothing prepared at all. I'm very honoured actually to be asked down here to come along to this celebration. I grew up on stories of the Southern Cross and Uncle Paddy and Uncle Paddy's daughter Pat, who's godmother to my daughter, and so there's a whole connection I have with this area and with the Southern Cross. And indeed, looking at the photographs in the room, one at the far end, there are two ladies sitting at a table, and that's my great aunt Santoy sitting there, aged 29, which is quite amazing. So it's a fantastic event. If it's happening next year and I'm invited, I'd certainly love to come back. So I hope you all have a great day, and thank you very much.
Counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never knew why did I decide to roam. Going to take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey. Show me the way to go. No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes. I put 2 hours of pushing broom, buys an 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. Worn out suit and shoes, I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a engineer on every train, oh yeah. I love the children and all of their names, and every handout in every town, and every lock that ain't locked when no one's around. Every lock that ain't locked when no one's around, oh yeah. Trailer boys, by no means. I'm just king of the road, oh yeah. I know every engineer on every train, oh yeah. All of the children and all of their names, and every handout in every town, and every lock that ain't locked when no one's around. What's called midnight train, oh yeah. Destination Bangor, Maine. Old worn out suit and shoes, I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies, I means by no means king of the road, ba-dum-bum-bum. I'm just king of the road, ba-dum-bum-bum. I'm just king of the road, ba-dum-bum-bum. I'm just king of the road. On a Texas Sunday morning, how I long to be there with Marie, who's waiting for me there, just beyond this city. Where I hang my hat ain't just half as pretty. That's where my baby's at. It's just the way to Amarillo. Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Come on and show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo, and the sweet Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, and it keeps me going through the wind and rain. It is just the way to Amarillo. Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, and the sweet Marie who waits for me. Come on and show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo, and the sweet Marie who waits for me.
To America without Google Maps or a GPS system or your fancy iPhones. Anyone know how we made it? We found our way. I hear a compass. Yes, that was handy. Anyone else? A map? Yes. Sunrise, sunset. Yes, sunrise, sunset. Well, here is an original news report from our flight, okay? So, let me read this. Our Irish navigator, Mr. Paddy Saul, a Dublin man, and we had his nephew in earlier on, thank you sir, had to stand on a table and put his head through the top hatch to get astronomical sightings and make sure we stayed on course. On approach towards Newfoundland, we had to make radio contact with the trawlers working the cod banks to keep us on the right course. That night we maintained a steady course, but due to a sudden instrument error, suddenly started to lose altitude. Falling lower and lower and surrounded by a blanket of thick fog, it was a very scary situation. When suddenly the aerial on the back of the plane started to skim the surface of the ocean. So I quickly pulled up. Paddy shouted, pull up, Charles, pull ups. So finally I managed to fly up and out of the fog. We managed to regain contact with the fishing boats and recalculate our course. And would you believe, that is where I coined the phrase, literally, flying by the seat of my pants. It was a close one, I tell you folks, it was a close one.
Walk my baby home. Sarsaparilla, Pepsi Cola. Everybody loves Coca-Cola. Goodness, ice cream, you scream. Everybody loves ice cream.